All right, let's actually start doing something. Goodbye, music. I'm sorry, the music cut off straight away. Okay, let's actually do something. Let's see. Things that should not be here. You should not be here. You should be here. Okay. Where we left off not last week. In this case, okay. So the sessions, right, are well, these sessions are what I'm gonna call self-study sessions, where unlike the normal weekly sessions that we do, where everybody gathers around, sits together, and read, this is gonna be just me doing it all solo. Okay, just so you know. So basically, I will interact with chat where questions are relevant, but if people ask things that are not relevant to whatever we're doing right now, then I'll usually ignore it because I want to keep the VOD all relevant and everything, okay? So that's going to be the basis of it. Please tell me if the microphone is too loud or too soft because I have not checked the sound quality testing yet. But generally, so this is how it's going to go. I'll be reading a few passages and we'll go through any new grammar we've been through. What else is there? I'm considering whether I want to go through new words. Basically, there's a column here for new words, which is basically vocabulary. I'm thinking whether or not I want to go through them, but I think I'll save that for the end of the session, kind of like end of each chapter. Then we go through each word, it's like as a recap kind of thing, right? But I think that's pretty much the plan. All right. So first of all, what I do want to talk about is the fact that let's go with last week's session, right? So last week, hold on, where's my pen? So last week over here, we've already read through some things. So this here is our grammar parts. Why is the pen like that? So last week, we've already went through some grammar bits. So this is the grammar bit, right? For chapter 1. Oh, this browser. So this is grammar for chapter 1. So far what we have learned is, where's my mouse? We have learned the basic, right? This is the basic of all sentences using the wa particle, right? When this is used as a particle, this is what we call wa particle. And the wa particle is what you need to use to make noun sentences, which is all we've learned so far. Okay, and then we have here we've learned how to do questions, right? Questions. What in the oh shit. We've learned how to do questions. And these questions is it turns a noun sentence into question. Does N refer to a noun? Yeah, it does. What DM? If you DM me on Twitch, I won't be able to see it because I don't have Twitch open. Just put everything in. If you put Discord DM, I'll see it. But if you put it in Twitch DM, I won't see it. I'll take that. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Oh, well. Okay. Anyway, we've also learned how to use no. No is basically no. The no particle indicates possessive, which we've learned last week already. Where's the mouse? See, I'm not used to using this yet. Where is it? Here we have go. This is no particle for possessive. Right? We've also learned how to use kore, which is this and that. That's we've learned this last week. We've also touched a bit on kono, which is basically like this and that, but you have to pair it with the noun. For example, like this book or that pen. Right? Kono hon, sono pen. You know, and we also learn how to use ano, which is over there. Then we've also have we have not learned this yet. So this one we haven't learned. Haven't touched any of these yet. We have learned this one. We've learned the mo particle, which means also. And then we haven't learned any of this. Okay. So yeah, that's all we covered last week, right? And now, without further ado, we're going to go into the second session for today. So welcome everybody to the stream. A bit late for introductions, I guess, but basically, I've already said I'm going to do all the readings myself. Basically, it's all going to be solo, right? So we'll see what happens. I'm trying to test a few new programs, so if you see like me just not knowing what the hell I'm doing, don't worry. I most likely don't know what I'm doing. So eraser cursor. So this enables my cursor. This should enable my pen, and then I can click this to clear screen. This to highlighter. Perfect. Okay. So that being said, right now we're going to chapter 1.4. So basically this website, which is the link is over here, it's called the link is actually in the stream. So if you kind of scroll on the page a bit, I should have a link down there. I know I put one. And basically what I'm going to do is going to read some conversations, right? These are like, actual Japanese conversations down here, all the way down here. Why does the mouse feel so weird now? Huh? And then, yeah, we're going to go all the way down here to read. And then what else is there? Then we will, yeah. Right, let's just start. So first of all, we have here, there's two people in the conversation, right? So right now you can see here, this says jiko shokai, right? This means self-introduction. We've read this part we've all read last week already. So we're going to start with 1.4. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click this nice little play button right here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted it is it? Hide bookmark. Oh well. Okay, so let's just start. So I'm gonna click this little button here, and it's gonna read Japanese out really fast. Don't worry, okay? Just don't worry about it.
皆さん、この方は山本先生です。山本です。どうぞよろしく。マレーシアのアリさんはどの人ですか？
私です。
Okay. So reading's a bit fast. Don't worry too much about it, okay? First of all, let's get a pencil out. So we see a new word here straight away. It says minasan, right? Ooh, get this pen a bit thinner. This is minasan, right? So minasan means everyone. Okay, so he's saying, hey, everybody. Kono kata. We've learned in the last session that kata is basically a very polite way to say person. Right? So kono is this. And as we've learned with our possessives, remember, right? Because we've learned that this is a book, right? So then you're saying kore wa hon desu, right? But then when we say this book is my book, right? Then we're changing because this book now there's a noun followed by it. Then so we will say kono hon wa watashi no hon desu, right? This is how it goes. Oh, just in case you don't know your kanji, this is the kanji for book, and this is the kanji for me. Okay. Now let's just remove all that. Actually, no, let's clear the whole page just faster. Okay, right. So, minasan, right? Hey, everyone. Kono kata, this person. Wa indicates that this is the topic. So right now, with that being said, we are concentrating on this person, and here it's highlighted by yellow over here, right? This guy who's the only color guy here, right? Actually, no, shoot, that's the wrong guy. Whoops. Undo button where you're not working. So where was it? If we click play.
皆さん、この方は山本先生です。
So you can see here, right, in the picture that he's introducing this guy. So this guy is Yamamoto Sensei. So Yamamoto is the name, and then Sensei is the suffix we've learned to add to something, right? So Sensei is a suffix. Why is my So Sensei, right? This is a suffix we use to add to refer to teachers, right? So for example, if my name is John, then when someone calls you, they say, "Hey, John Sensei," right? This one, if you've watched your share of anime or played enough games, you will hear this all the time, right? So this one shouldn't be too unfamiliar, but this is what we call honorifics, right? You add a very honorific suffix to a person's name, and it shows them respect. And this is really important because in Japanese, it's all about respect. Okay, so Yamamoto Sensei desu. So this guy's this teacher, right? He's a teacher. His name is Yamamoto. Mr. Yamamoto. Right? Okay? So, この方は山本先生です。I see. And then now, Yamamoto is going to introduce himself. He's like, "Hey guys." So here you see, oh wait, where's the, there. So you can, ooh, that's not what I want. Why is the blot so big? So here, Yamamoto. So now he introduced himself, Yamamoto desu. So last time we've learned that, when you introduce yourself, we say, "Watashi wa nani nani desu," right? Where watashi means me, and then you're introducing your name. Right? Now you can see that he completely omits this bit here. So, oh, I have a color palette. Nice. Put this here. It's probably too far away from me. So you can see here he now kind of says, "Hey," instead of saying this part, he just omits this. He just says, "Hey, Yamamoto desu." Right? And what he does here, he's introducing himself. "I'm Yamamoto." So here he says, "I'm Yamamoto." Right? And what happens is that the I bit is implied. Okay, so he's saying, "Hey, Yamamoto." And then "dozo yoroshiku." "Dozo yoroshiku," as we've learned last week, is a greeting to say "pleased to meet you." And then he asks this question over here, right? We can see there's a ka. Ka indicates question. Okay, always remember that. Basic Japanese, if you see the sentence ending with a ka, it's almost always a question. Okay, and so you can see here he says, "Malaysia no gakusei, Malaysia no Ari-san wa dono hito desu ka?" So now he's asking, "Malaysia no Ari-san." So as we learned last week, no is possessive. So that means if he says Malaysia no Ari-san, he's saying, "Hey, Ali from Malaysia." So we know that says, I cannot get a good grip of this, Ali from Malaysia. Wa dono hito desu ka? So remember, wa means topic marker. So the topic right now, we're talking about Ali from Malaysia. Wa dono hito desu ka? So dono is going to be a series of question words. We'll cover it in a bit. But just for now, it just means which, right? Okay, it means which. Hito, person. So now he's asking, okay, which person is Ali from Malaysia, right? Or basically, in English context, we say, who is Ali from Malaysia? Who are you? Identify yourself. Right? And then Ali replies, "Watashi desu." It is I. It's me. Just very simple. Watashi desu. And you can have a very simple noun sentence like this. See, it's me. Watashi desu. Noun sentence. For example, you can say, "Hey, what is this?" "Hon desu." It's a book. Full stop. That's it. Just simple as that, right? No funny gimmicks, no nothing. I'm gonna check real quick if there is a. Let me just double check. Oh yeah, I do. There's one grammar we want to check on, which is dono. Right. So let's go into questions, I think. So perfect. So now we're gonna go into a little bit of grammar, right? So we've learned just now we had to deal with this bit here, right? Oh no, where's the pen? Right, I have to deal with this bit here, which means dono kata. Where's my pen? Where am I? Which means dono kata, right? So now, as we can see here, let me scroll up a bit. There we go. Now, you see, dono kata, dono and desu ka, right? So when we say dono we mean which, who, right? So here we're gonna introduce ourselves to some questions. So remember, kata is basically polite, which is right here, and hito is neutral. It's not saying it's rude; it's just neutral, right? Okay. So for example, kono hito means this person, right? We can also be polite by saying kono kata. And then onna no hito means female or woman, right? Onna no kata, then we're being this lady, right? We're being a bit more polite, being a bit more posh, so to speak. Dono hito, right? Dono is a question word, which means which. So if you have like a textbook, if you're like making notes or anything, you gotta remember, right? This means which. Okay, and dare means who. So we've learned new words right now. Dono, which means which. And then we have dare, which means who. And then if you want to be fancy, we can also use do na ta, which means who, but polite. Okay? So let's just look at the examples here, right? Suzuki-san. Sorry. Suzuki sensei wa dono kata desu ka? So saying Suzuki sensei. So the teacher's name is Suzuki, right? Dono kata desu ka? Who is Suzuki sensei, right? For example, you see a bunch of teachers over here, like, hey, which one's Suzuki sensei? You kind of like, you're not sure, right? So you're asking a friend, and it's like, oh, Suzuki sensei is that guy over there. So this is the reply. Suzuki sensei wa ano kata desu. Right? And if we learned before, the rules of kono, sono, and ano, right? This is you. This is your friend. This is the book. This is someone else. Right? If you have a book, if he has a table, and if you're just, okay. Remember, if this is you, speaker, and this is listener, right? If the speaker says this is a book, then we say これは本です. Right? This is a book. And then we've learned that, which means, and so if now you're looking at that thing over there, which is a far object, right? Then we say それは机です。机です。Right? That is a table. And then let's say this guy is Suzuki. We refer to that guy who is far away from you, but also far away from your friend. Then we use no hito. We're being polite. We don't say are as in that, okay? Remember, kore and sore, we've used it, was for inanimate things, right? In a way. But also, let's just put it into English context. You don't refer, if you see a person far away and say, hey, who's that? You don't say, oh, that is, it's kind of rude. You say, oh, that person over there, right? You want to be a bit more polite. hito, right? は鈴木先生です。Something like that, right? So that person is Mr. Suzuki. There we go. All right. Clear. So that's the little bit for this dono hito. Now let's see. What else was it covered here? Nope, I think we should be good. Okay. Right. Now we will go to the next text. So that was 1.4. Now we go to 1.5. So, どうぞよろしく持ち物 belongings, right? I'm going to click the button and we're going to listen to some quick Japanese text.
それはあなたのカバンですか？
はい。これとこれは私のカバンです。
それもあなたのカバンですか？
はい。これも私のカバンです。
Okay, so straight away, Japanese is quite fast. Don't worry about it, okay? We don't have to read that fast. We don't even need to be good. Let's go with this, okay? Now, there's two people in this conversation. First, we have Yamamoto and we have Ari. So we know that this guy here is Ari. And we know this guy is Yamamoto. Okay? Don't worry about the kanji. I'm just using it to make my life easy, okay? This is Yamamoto. Right? Okay. Now it's saying それはあなたのカバンですか? So we've learned how to use noun sentences, right? So let's ignore this bit. Let's ignore this bit. Let's ignore this bit. This is ignore all of this stuff, right? Okay. あなたのカバン. Let's look at what we've learned. Okay. あなたのカバン. あなた means you. カバン means bag, right? And we've learned the no particle is possessive, right? So possessive means a bag that belongs to you, right? So we combine this two, which means your bag. All right, so that's the first element. So let's just clear screen that. So we have element 1, your bag. Okay, second element. So we've covered this here, okay? Now, this one we've already designed to element 1, right? Let's ignore this first. Now let's look at this part here. Desu ka. We know that the second element now is a question, right? Because he has with a ka. When we see ka, it always indicates question. Then we look at this part here that I removed, but it says sorewa. Right? Then 3. So wa. Now, let's look at which means that. Right? So let's look at how it all combines together. First of all, he's asked to send. Let's go for piece by piece, right? He's first asking sorewa, so saying that. You know, sorewa, right? And then he asks, anata no kaban desu ka? Right? Your bag? Question mark, right? So, what we've learned is that we know that anata no, if we ignore the ka bit, right? If we ignore this bit here, okay? If we ignore this bit here, we know that sore wa. Let's bring it. I'm making it too complicated for myself too. Let's do sore wa kaban desu. Okay, let's go with this sentence, right? This means is that is a bag, right? This is what we understand from this sentence. Now let's add the sentence. From sore wa kaban desu, so we have sore wa anata. Actually, let's make this a bit more useful. Anata. No, let's change. Let's make it more darker color. anata no kaban. Right? This. Okay, you can see here. We added here anata no kaban, right? So then the sentence changes to that is your bag. Right? That's how the question now modifies itself. Right? That is your bag. So, and then afterwards, then we see it ends with desu ka, right? So when we add a ka to the end of the sentence, right? This thing becomes a question. This whole sentence here becomes a question, right? So from that is your bag, sorry, it will become is that your bag? And then we have a question mark here, right? Is that your bag, right? So that's how we break down the sentence, and we can now officially say, yeah. So with this, right, is that your bag? With this, we build the sentence bit by bit, right? それはカバン. I am running out of space. So let's look how we built the sentence again, right? それはカバンです. So this one is a basic noun sentence. That is a bag. We describe kaban by saying あなたのカバン. This あなたのカバン explains or like further enhances what kaban means, right? And then when we add a ka, it becomes a question. All right, so all that just for this sentence to say, hey, is that your bag? All right, so that's the first sentence covered. Now we go to the second sentence here. What other colors can I pick? Oh, I like green. And then now you see Ali replies, hi. Hi means yes. Oh no, green might be too bright. Let's go with brown. Right? Hi. これとこれは私のカバンです. So, you can see here he says これとこれ. Now, what we know of これ is that これ means this, right? So when you say これ twice, we know that he's saying this and this 2 times, right? So we have a new particle here. This is called the to particle. To particle. Now, so far, so I'm gonna cut it out a bit. So far we've learned a few particles, right? We're gonna use blue for this. Okay, so at the bottom right of the screen, we've learned the wa particle, right? The wa particle is for topic. Oh, this might be too light. Whoops. So far we've learned the wa particle, right? Where's my pen? We've learned the wa particle, which means topic marker, right? And then we've also learned no, which is possessive. Which is possessive marker. You get the point, right? So now with this, and then we've also learned ka, which is question. Right? Now we're going to learn a new particle, which is the to. This is, which indicates question. So why did I do that? So now to is very simple. As of now, in basic Japanese, don't forget about what anyone else tells you, okay? Just remember, let's say you're learning Japanese for the first time. You don't know anything about Japanese, okay? To means and. Okay? Very simple. And. Okay? So, to iterate what I said, look at this sentence. It says kore to kore. We know that kore means this. We know that kore also means this. I might need a thicker pen. You know that both kore means this. So we can deduce with logic that we're saying this and this, right? So we say this and this. Okay, so look at him. He has 3 bags here, right? And Yamamoto is asking, hey, are those your bags? I say, yeah, this and this are my bags. Watashi no kaban, right? My bag. Okay, so, はい、これとこれは私のカバンです。Now, so right now he's already here. We're saying that, yeah, these are my bags. And then Yamamoto replies, それもあなたのカバンですか? Right? Remember, we've learned mo before. Mo means also. So he's asking, hey, are those also your bags, right? Because それ, we have that. And then we have あなたのカバンです. So we already know that あなたのカバン is your bag. So when we say mo, when we go into English, hey, okay, we break the sentence again. So let's just erase this bit here. Okay. So our sentence, right? We have それもあなたのカバンですか? Right? So それ that も also あなたのカバン your bag and question mark, right? So we have these components, and then if with a little bit of English mixing, right, we can say, is that also your bag? Right? So that's this sentence. And then now Ali replies, はい、これも私のカバンです。はい、we've learned in the last session. It means yes. これも私のカバンです。We know 私のカバン means my bag. So when he says これも私のカバン, he's saying, yes, this is also my bag, right? So that's how we read this whole text. That's how we read this whole page, and this is how we transcribe all the grammar. So, that being said, what did we learn from this passage alone? This passage taught us how to use this. これとこれ. Right? Which means this and this. We can also use it to hold on. Right? We can also use it as follows. Wait, where's the pen? We can also use it as this. これとそれ. Where it means this and that. Why is the sensitivity so weird now? Back here. Right? Which means this and that. Okay? So remember, the to particle means and. With これ meaning this, with それ meaning that. We've learned how to say this and that. Alright? And then also the other one we've learned is, no, that's what we have to learn for this passage. Okay? So let's go to 6. I believe it's 6. Yeah, 6. Great. So now we are here. You can see this sentence is really short. There's only 2 lines here, which is good. So, we're gonna learn a new question word today. You can see a camera. Why is the pen so thick? God dang it. Gotta find out what's wrong with how to do this properly. Okay. So we can see here we have a camera. Or kamera. Right? Now we have two people talking again. So you see Yamamoto's actually where is let's have them read.
あのカメラは誰のカメラですか？
あれはマリアさんのカメラです。
Okay. So see? It says ano, right? We've covered ano last time. When something is far away from the both of you, then you say that over there because it's not close to both of you. So we have kono, we have sono, we have ano. Right? Ano is for far away. Or both speaker and listener. Okay, so it's far away from both of you. That's why we use ano. Okay? Ano kamera. Ano camera. So it's saying that camera over there. Right? This brings us to that camera. What? Topic marker. The topic. 誰のカメラですか? 誰 is a new word we are learning for who. 誰のカメラですか? Whose camera? Right? We can use 誰 with the particle no. And in this case, so you can see here it says 誰 no カメラ. Right? Now, let's just say we don't know what 誰 means, right? Let's tone it down a bit. Okay, we have right. So if I say 私 no カメラ, right? This means my camera. So when I ask whose camera, right, we still have no camera because we need to indicate it belongs to someone, right? But watashi, because we want to say who, we replace it with dare. And that's how this works. Okay? So, yeah. Yeah, so basically, あのカメラは誰のカメラですか? So, he's asking whose camera is that? Right? And then, here we can see あれはマリアさんのカメラです. So he's saying あれ. So remember, far away again. So he's saying あれ to mean far away. はマリアさんのカメラです. Right? Saying that is Maria's camera. Okay? So then the question will come, right? Okay, but can't I use あのカメラ? Can I use あのカメラ, right? And the answer is yeah, you can. Right? The sentence will look like this now. So let's use this as an example, okay? Let's scroll down a bit. I need more space. Ooh. Oh, I know what causes that. Okay, that makes sense now. So let's use this working space here. Okay, good. This is the working space I want. So let's look at this, right? The sentence goes with where is my ink? The sentence goes like this. あのカメラは誰のカメラですか? So, first of all, what Japanese teachers in general like you to do, right? If we ask a question, we would like you to answer in kind, right? Because in English, this sentence means whose, like the direct translation, okay? Whose camera is that camera, right? In English, we can refine this to whose camera is that, right? Okay. In English, we won't say whose camera is that camera, right? Because we've already mentioned camera once. We will say whose camera is that. In Japanese, we can do the same thing. Instead of saying あのカメラは誰のカメラですか? Right? Now, first of all, if we're going to eliminate redundancy, right? For example, here the camera was the second camera was redundant and we eliminated it, right? In Japanese, we can choose which way we want to. But for now, for the context of this, we haven't learned how to use dare no, right? No as a, we'll talk about that later. But for now, for this purposes, right? We can do this. In English, we can also try and do this sentence one more spin on it. We can also say, whose is that camera? Right? And that's what we're going to do with this sentence here. So we can do this with, so we have that camera, we're going to keep it. あのカメラは Ah, shit, this is not what I wanted. No, let's go back. Rewind time. That's not what I wanted. No. Let's not do that. That's not what we've got. We're going to learn that next topic. I can't wipe anymore. Shite. I got ahead of myself. Hold on. I was right with my thought process. Let's go back. Okay. So anyway, whose camera is that, right? So whose camera here, we have to put it down here, right? Because this sentence, we are saying whose camera. And let's just say we're translating the sentence, right? So we have whose camera, so we want to keep the whose camera bit. So we say dare no camera. Right? This is to keep the keep the context going, right? We're asking about whose camera. We're saying is that now. Now, here we go. Is that. We know that we use ano, right? But when we use ano, there always must be a noun followed by it. But now here, there is no noun, right? So what do we do with this? This becomes are. Because with are, we are now pointing to a generic direction. Okay? Because now we're pointing to a generic direction. We're saying, hey, what's that? We're just pointing over there. We're not saying what it is. We're just saying, hey, what's that? That's when you use are. Because you're just pointing at it. You're not specifying it. You're just saying, hey, what's that? Whereas if you know what it is, you can say ano, in this case camera, right? Camera. Oh shit, too many strokes, right? Ano camera. So then this is your specifying the noun. if that makes sense. So, so look at this sentence again, okay? あのキャメラは誰のカメラですか? We can, we're going to see some mess on it, don't worry. Okay, look at this picture, okay? We can see the camera in that picture, right? We can see it, but we don't know who it belongs to, right? We can see this camera, but we don't know who it belongs to. So we're saying, hey, whose camera is that? So we can also say, whose is that camera? And in Japanese, it works the same way. We can say, それ. No, in this case, it's あれ, sorry. あれは誰のカメラ? Because あれ is far away from both of you, right? And 誰のカメラ? Because we're asking, whose camera does it belong to? When you say それは誰のカメラ, you're pointing at a direction and you're saying, hey, that thing over there, whose camera is it? Right? We can also say, hey, whose camera is that camera? Where in Japanese it would be あのカメラは誰のカメラ? In this case, when you say あのカメラ in that context, right? Let's give you a better idea. So I'm going to remove all this stuff that I wrote, okay? So let's put it this way. Let's just say on this table we had a little flower vase, right? We had some flowers. And then maybe we had a book, right? Or something like that. Okay? And a chair. Okay? Now, in this case, when you say, あれは何ですか? What is that? Now, look at this situation, okay? If I say, あれは何ですか? Where 何です means what, okay? Just for these purposes. Okay, so he's asking, hey, what is that? But the problem is, now when you look in that direction, you see 4 objects, right? And when you see 4 objects, then you gotta ask your friend, which one are you talking about? Right? Then you might have to describe it. But now, so in this sentence, right? If let's look at this sentence. If we say あの, if we just change this sentence here to あれ, and then we don't have camera, right? The problem is now he's saying, hey, whose is that? Which is that? There's a flower vase, there's a book, there's a camera, there's a chair. Which one are you talking about? So you specify it with no. So you're specifying it with no, because now you say, hey, あのカメラ. With this, you specify object in sentence context. Okay? So you say, hey, あのカメラ. So in this case, when they both look, right, they see, hey, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but hey, we're talking about this camera, right? It becomes easier for both the speaker and the listener to identify what we're talking about. あのカメラは誰のカメラですか? Okay? So, that's basically how it works-ish. So for basically the no series, like このそのあの, you're kind of you're specifying something, because what is that over there? Okay, no. Yeah. When you say what is that over there, then you're saying, hey, what is that over there, right? And when you don't specify it, that's when you say, that's when you use the あれ series. That's when you say あれ, because it's far away from both of you, and then you're pointing far away, and you say, hey, what's that? Right? And then in this case, you see a camera and you're like, hey, that's an expensive camera. Hey, whose camera is that? Then you say, あのカメラは誰のカメラですか? Right? Because you're saying, hey, that's a camera. You shouldn't leave it lying down. It might get stolen, right? They ask so for concerns, like, hey, whose camera is that? And now you're specifying the noun. So then you go, hey, あのカメラは誰のカメラ? Right? So basically, yeah, that's how it works. Click, click. I said click, click, not. There we go. Okay. Let's go to the next text. But yeah, I think that should better clear up some things, right? Because the thing about the are, sore, the koso a series is that it's not about koso a, it's about how to use them. One is for nouns and one is ambiguous. That's the best way of saying it, right? Let me actually just pull it out here. Right. Demonstrative pronouns, right? If you like your English terminology. If you like your English terminology, right? Then we say kore, sore, are. They are demonstrative pronouns where you refer to this and that. Okay? And then in the other part, then we have the no series. As soon as the web page loads, any second now, you use the no series before a noun to modify the noun, because now you're talking about the noun. Whereas when you're with the are, kore, sore series, you're being ambiguous. Whereas now with the no, you're specifying the noun we're talking about. Okay. And this is a little note just for you, quick read. Did I lose connection? Ah. I think the connection's a bit unstable. We're gonna wait for a bit to see what happens with it. Look at this beautiful thing here. You see this basically this part here was why everyone was lagging. It's not you, right? It's me. Welcome to shitty internet. We'll wait for that to be a bit stable first. We'll resume in like at 45. Okay, I think connection looks a bit stable. Now let's go back. Don't want to waste too much time. Okay. Dozo yoroshiku. Now, let's go with more crazy reading.
アリさん、それは何ですか？
これはレコードです。
マレーシアのレコードですか？日本のレ
The
コードです
picture
か？
stopped loading.
マレーシアのレコードです。
Oh my god. Okay. Let's set the premise, okay? This textbook is very old. Like, this textbook is very old. The word recordo, right, is something that even in the English world we probably don't use anymore, which is the word record. Right? It's not record, it's record. Record as in one big ass piece of square looking film that houses a beautiful black, well, actually, no. Yes, it's why you're experiencing jumps in the video. It's nothing to do with you. It's just my internet going to shit. Okay. Anyway, it's something that houses a beautiful black vinyl disc, right? That plays music. Okay. This record is called a record, where you have a nice beautiful cover art and it houses a huge ass disc. It's basically a vinyl record, right? The original name is called a vinyl record. Okay? That's the whole actual name for it. Just so you know, right? This textbook is really old. Okay. Now, let's go with this what we just read, okay? Now, hey, Ari-san. Ari-san. それは何ですか? So just now we used 何ですか, right? Now, so far I can't remember how many things we learned. How many question words we learned? We've learned 何? No, we've learned 誰. Right? Which means who. We've learned どなた, which is the polite version of who. We've learned I can't remember if we learned どれ and どの, which is the question form of the それ series, the so and ko series, and also the no series, right? Then now we finally have nan or nani, ni, which means what. Okay. So okay, so Ari-san, それは何ですか, right? So he's asking, hey, what is, so we know that 何ですか means what, okay? So それは何ですか is saying, hey, what is that? What is that? Question mark, right? And then Ali means Ali. Hey, Ali, what is that? Question mark. And then now Ari replies, これはレコードです. これ means this, right? So this is a record. Vinyl record. Vinyl record. Right? This is a record. And then now Yamamoto replies, マレーシアのレコードですか? So we know that the no particle means possessive. So recorder that belongs to Malaysia. So a Malaysian record. Right? 日本のレコードですか? Malaysian record? 日本のレコード. So record that belongs to Japan. So Japanese record. Right? So Japanese record. So you're saying, hey, Malaysian record or Japanese record, right? So I will explain this bit later. Okay, but let's just remember that these are the two meanings. And then Ali replies, hey, it's a Malaysian record this. Malaysia. So Malaysia, this is the flag of Malaysia, okay? Malaysia. Malaysia. Right? And he's asking, is it Malaysia or is it Japan? Okay, and he says, oh, it's a Malaysian record, full stop, right? And that ends the conversation. So now, that being said, let's go quickly with this part, right? So if you notice this part here, it has blah, 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 ka, comma, blah, 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 ka, full stop, right? So then what's happening now? So basically we now see two questions, right? And here's our new grammar for today. Malaysia no recorder desu ka? So it's saying, hey, Malaysian record? Question mark? Or a Japanese record? Right? So what's happening here is saying, hey, is it A or is it B? So when you see this question where you have ka, comma, ka, nani nani, ka, full stop, is basically saying, is it A or is it B? Right? So that's what the function of the sentence is. So we here have Malaysia no recordo, which is our object A, Nihon no recordo, which is object B. So A, Malaysian record. We have B, Japanese record, right? So we have A, ka, B, ka, full stop, right? Which means, is it A or is it B? Question mark. This is how the sentence translates, okay? And that's all for this page here. Then we will move to the next page, which is 8 and 9. So about maybe a good 15 to 20 minutes left. For those who are a bit wondering how long is this going to take. Then we go to a new section here, right? It says Heya no kagi. Heya means room. Kagi means key. So if kagi, that belongs to a room. Heya no kagi. Key to a room. Okay? Now, Maria-san. Actually, no, let's have this read out for a little bit.
マリアさん、これはあなたの部屋の鍵です。どうぞ。
どうもありがとうございます。
Okay, that's obviously fast. Don't worry about it. Okay, we don't care how fast they read. We just want to listen what they sound like. Now, Maria-san. Hey, Maria. Right? Maria. Okay, remember, san is a suffix we use to add to someone's name. So, Maria-san. これは This is あなたの Your 部屋の Room 鍵 Key です。どうぞ This is basically a very nice way of saying here you go. Okay? Here. Right? He's basically being polite about it. Okay? So, どうぞ Here you go. So you can see here, this is a long sentence, right? I want to break that down because this is my fun part. So let's first clear this up and then let's scroll down a bit. Okay. I like this sentence because it shows you sentence building, right? So remember what we've learned, right? We've learned the no particle, which is for possessive. So when we say 部屋の鍵, right? This means room key, right? Because a key that belongs to a room, key that belongs to a room, right? Because we can say car key or everything, right? So there's all these other words for it, but for now we only know the word room, so room key, right? Now this room key is now one object, and then now we have あなたの部屋の鍵. You see here, there's two different notes. Let's look at it this way, right? The first note makes this box. The second note is this entire box, right? Okay, so what do we know so far? Yellow's too bright, I figured. What do we know? So, 部屋の鍵, we know that means it's a room key, right? And then if I say あなたの room key, this obviously translates to your room key. But what this sentence I like shows you is that here you can have two no's in the same sentence, and it is completely valid as long as it describes the item correctly. A key that belongs to a room key that belongs to you. You know, that kind of hierarchy is what we're going for. Okay? Let's clear this up. So, Maria-san. Hey, Maria. これは This is あなたの部屋の鍵です。Your room. I'm just going to write this down again. Key. Right? Hey, Maria. This is your room key. Your with two no's here. Okay? どうぞ. Here you go. Polite. Okay? When you say どうぞ, you're offering, you're giving something to somebody, and you're doing it politely. Okay? Now Maria says, どうもありがとうございます. So we've been learning a lot of grammar and everything. Let's learn a new phrase, right? We've learned on the first session, どうぞよろしく, right? Which means please to meet you. Now we're going to learn a new one. どうもありがとうござい. Right? Which I'm pretty sure most of you people know by now, which means thank you very much. Right? The whole phrase どうもありがとうございます is to say thank you very much, and this is where you're being extra polite. Okay, what do I mean by extra polite, right? It's because we can just say ありがとう, which means thanks or thank you, right? We can also say ありがとうございます, which also means thank you. They mean the same thing, but then you're adding one level of politeness. Then when you say どうもありがとうございます, which is all three together, then you're being super extra polite, which gives you plus points. Okay? Just remember that. It's all about Japanese language has a lot of respect, and when you add things like this, you're being extra polite. But remember, depending on the context, if you add too many, you're being rude. So just like everything, do it in moderation, right? If you add too many honorifics, or you're trying to be over polite, you come out as rude, right? You're just trying to show off. You're trying to stick it up to someone, that kind of thing. Okay? Life lesson, really. Okay, now we go to our last text for today. Let's have them
先
read.
生、私の部屋の鍵はどれですか？
あなたの部屋の鍵はこれです。どうぞ。
どうもありがとうございます。
Okay, you can see here, it's basically a simple sentence again, right? And look, we have our double no here for again. Kagi that belongs to room. Heya that belongs to you. Me, in this case, I. Watashi no heya no kagi. right? We've been through this just now, just 5 minutes ago. So this means my room key. Okay? Dore is our new word today, which means which, right? So remember, we've learned kore, we've learned sore, we've learned are, right? Now we learn dore, because this is this, that, and question form. This is what we call question form when we have a question mark, right? And it applies with the no series as well, when you have nouns, right? Kono, sono, ano, and tono. It functions the same thing. If you know how to use the no series, then in this case, we will say, dono kagi desu ka, right? Which key is it? Okay? But anyway, let's clear that all up. Sensei, watashi no heya no kagi wa dore desu ka? Sensei, hey, teach. You know, teacher. Watashi no heya no kagi wa dore desu ka? So you can see here, there's 5 keys. There's 5. He's saying, hey, among these 5 keys here, which is mine? Watashi no heya no kagi wa dore desu ka? Alright, that's his question. Then Yamamoto sensei replies, Anata no heya no kagi. So remember, double no again. Key that belongs to the room that belongs to you. Your room key. Wa kore desu. This is your room key. And you can see, now, there's a question about kono and ano, right? Now, look at this, okay? If you say, hey, this is your key. He can say this key is your key, right? We got to be specific now. He has to point. Look at where he's pointing. He's not saying, hey, this thing here is your key. Oh yeah, which one? There's 5, right? He's pointing right at it. He's like, this is your key. When he's pointing like that, okay, when he's pointing like that, does he need to say kono kagi? Well, the answer is it's up to him. He doesn't have to say kono kagi wa anata no kagi. He can just say kore wa anata no kagi. Right? And you're going to say, hey, what's the difference? Well, it's like English, right? You're saying, hey, which key is mine? It's this one, and you point at it. Or you can also say, it's this key, and you point at it. Now, in English, does it make any difference? No, not really. In Japanese, does it make a big difference? Also, no, not really. Right? It's just having 2 different uses. Okay? If you question too much about it, then you get confused. It's easier to learn it by feel and just kind of get a grasp of it, right? And then as you use it more, it makes more sense. Now, then he says dozo, which means thanks. Woo! Okay? Whoa. No, that doesn't mean thanks. Dozo means here you go. Here you go, question mark. Okay? And then now he says, Ari, domo arigatou gozaimasu. We've learned that just now too. Domo arigatou gozaimasu means thank you very much. Right? Then basically that is how the conversation ends. Because if we clear the page, we see there is no conversation left. So that all that text brings us to the end of chapter 1. We've officially completed chapter 1, guys. Congratulations for people who are learning Japanese for the first time, right? Let's look at all these grammar. We've learned nouns, right? We've learned nouns. The basic meaning. This is how do you make a noun sentence. Watashi wa John desu. I am John. Oh, then we've learned how to make questions. Anata wa John-san desu ka? Hey, are you John? And then you reply, yeah, I am John. Hi. Yes, watashi wa John desu. I am John. But if say, hey, no, I'm not John, I'm Peter. You say, yeah, no, watashi wa John de wa arimasen. I'm not John. You got the wrong guy. You know? And then we've learned possessive pronouns. We've learned possessive particle, which means no, right? So we can say John さんはアメリカの学生です. John is a student from America. He's an American student, right? Yeah. So just so you know, I'm just going to run through this, right? I'm not going to explain too much because I believe I've covered all of them for when we read the text. I'm just going through them to make sure I didn't miss anything. Anyway, then we have the kore series, kore, sore, are, right? With kore means this thing near me. Are means, sore means over that thing that's near you. Are meaning to something that is far away from the both of you, which is over there. Okay? You never use it immediately before nouns because, see, これは本です. This is a book. それは日本の時計です. That's a Japan watch. And then Japanese clock, sorry. And then あれはバスです. That is a bus. Right? You never put nouns immediately after because if you want to put a noun after, there's a different form for it, which is the kono, sono, and ano series. We have kono hon, this book. Wa nihongo no hon desu. It's a Japanese book, right? We specified already. This book here. You always modify the noun. If you have a noun straight away, you have to use the no series. You cannot use kore, sore, are. All right? And then we've also been through this one, right? Well, we have two kas. This is an alternative question where you're asking, is it A, is it B? For example, question here, これはペンですか? 鉛筆ですか? So 鉛筆 means pencil, okay? Is this a pen or is this a pencil? それはペンです. Oh, that is a pen, right? And then here, それは自動車の鍵ですか? 自転車の鍵ですか? So, 鍵 is car, key. 自転車 is bicycle. And 自動車 is, 自動車 is car. Right? Hey, are those keys car keys or are they bicycle keys? Right? それは自転車の鍵です. Those are bicycle keys. We've learned 何ですか as well. 何ですか, which is 何 or 何, right? Which we use to say what. Right? And because what is a noun sentence, we always have to use des, right? 何ですか? Okay? So, あれは何ですか? Hey, what is that? あれはスカーフです. That's a scarf. ハンカチーフではありません. You know, it's not a handkerchief. And then with the question words, right? We've learned who, we've learned what, we've also learned who. 誰ですか? Right? When we've learned 誰, we can say あの人は誰ですか? あの人は A さんです. You know, in this case, A さん would be, for example, John さん. So あの人は John さんです. Hey, that guy over there, his name is John. He's John. Right? あの方はどなたですか? Who's that person over there? You're being polite now with 方. あの方は A さんです. You know? And then we've also learned how to use question words with no. For example, whose camera is that? 誰のカメラ? So when you have a noun, you're asking, hey, who owns this? For example, you found notes lying on the ground. Hey, whose notes is this? In this case, we say this, right? So it's a これは誰のノート? Hey, whose notes are these? Right? And then we've also learned this. We've learned also we've learned last week. All right. Then we've learned dore. This is when we have choices, right? When the guy came over, hey, which is my key? Which of these are my key, you know? 私の部屋の鍵はどれですか? He sees 5 keys saying, hey, teach which of these 5 keys are mine. And then and then you reply with a sentence, right? Oh, it's this one. See, you identify a particular item out of 3 things. This is specifically when you say, 何々はこれです, right? This means that a person is pointing at something already. And then dono, which we've also learned, which is here, right? Is to name a particular thing out of 3 or more things. And then we've also learned how to use the to particle, which is basically and. Right? So we've learned 4 particles already. We've learned to, we've learned wa, we've learned mo, we've learned no. All right? So that is going to be officially the end of chapter 1. Right? Before we go into chapter 2, No promises. I may or may not go through this entire list, and if I don't, go through that entire list, I might go through the kanji. I don't go through that entire list. Oh shit, that's gonna loop. Whoops. My bad. So I posted a link that, well, there's a link at the bottom. It's up to you if you check it, but this link over here, right? And there's a link here. It tells you all the VODs for everything, and this is the self-learn VODs, which is what this is considered. And also these, so the new words, where is it? So the new words here, right? Some of them have kanji. So these are new words which, you know, by the time we've read everything, we don't need these anymore because we've learned them, right? But if you're learning this for the first time, you will need this, right? But as with always with Japanese, you also have to learn kanji. And kanji, people may or may not love it, right? Some people love kanji. Some people hate kanji. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I might want to talk about kanji. I might not want to talk about kanji. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, there's a kanji list, or more compiled kanji list, which is easier for you to learn. Hey, these are the kanji from this chapter. Is it a must that you learn kanji? It helps. Do you have to learn it straight away? No. If you want to avoid it, sure, but you'll hit a point when we continue these sessions by maybe chapter 7, by chapter 9, you'll be like, you know what, if I had kanji, this would be so much easier. You know, you never know, right? But yeah, anyway, that's just basically some previews of the kanji there. Anyway, that being said, I think this is where I will end the session. Well, technically, this is the end of chapter 1, so congratulations for those of you who has officially finished chapter 1. I don't know when I will do chapter 2. It could be in the next 8 hours. It could be tomorrow. It could be the day after tomorrow, right? These sessions are completely random. It's not scheduled. It's basically when I'm free and when I feel like doing it. So for some people, it may be too much information in a short period of time. For some people, it may be, you know, hey, where's the videos? You stop posting, right? It really depends on my free time, okay? So who knows? I might do chapter 2 as soon as the next 3 hours from now. I mean, in like 5 hours from now, or I might do chapter 2 maybe in a few days from now, right? It's completely random, but don't worry. All of these videos will be saved and it will be logged. It will be saved, it will be logged, it will be compiled, right? So if you guys do come to the Japanese Discord, so in my in my Twitch page, there's a website. This is the Japanese Discord. This is where we learn everything. This is where, well, most of us do our stuff. Okay, we have mentors. We have see me streaming right now. I should change my clickbait title back to. Sorry. So basically, you know, that's my clickbait title. But we have all these sessions here, and you can see I was in this beginner session. That's just to let people know. I do host sessions every week on Sunday to teach, but we've gone so far into text that it scared some new people away. So hopefully this serves as great self-study material for those who want to study, right? It's just that I use a different textbook, so it may not appeal to everyone. Okay, but yeah, if you join, we're all here to help. On our free time, there's a lot of people who are always discussing things, right? So don't worry too much about it. You know, learning Japanese is not easy. Learning learning anything new really is basically not easy, right? You have to put some effort into it. So yeah, here's your free resources, and I think with that we'll head to some nice relaxing music before I turn off the stream. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and if there's any feedback, please tell me in Discord.